So Noelle, today we're doing structure evaluations.
We are.
Just like that. So tell us why we do structure evaluations on puppies.
So,
and how old are they?
Puppies are exactly 8 weeks old. And
Perfect.
in corgis, we want them to be 8 weeks old so that they are kind of a miniature version of what the adults should be. It's kind of a standard throughout. We look at them again at 10 weeks and then again at 12 weeks for show prospects. But 8 weeks is kind of the end all be all.
And what can you tell by evaluating their structure?
So we can tell how close they fit or conform to the standard. The standard is a recipe that's put together by the parent company, not AKC, that tells the breeder how tall the dog should be, how long they're supposed to be, what the eyes should look like, how long the loin is, all these things. And all of these parts fit together. And if you understand what the corgi's bred for, then it makes it easier to understand why the parts are the way they are. For example, why are their legs so short? The legs are short. Exactly. Their legs are short because it saves them from getting kicked by cows. They're a very nippy breed. So I don't usually place puppies with young children because they can be real nippy. As
most cattle dogs of that
exactly.
Sort. Yeah.
And they love to chase anything that screams. So yes, fun. So as the cattle would kick back, the corgi would duck and they would miss the kick. And so therefore they'd stay safe and be able to do their job. So
awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things in there that
you do this for all breeds. These are corgis because they're yours, but we've done this test on other breeds.
I have done this on a lot of different breeds. Yeah. In fact, I'm doing some Nova Scotia duck-tolling retrievers not too long from now.
They're so cute.
Yeah, they are really cute. So I can't wait to do them. But yeah, I do all different breeds. And the first thing that I do is I measure everything. Measurements don't lie. It's easy for markings and the way that a dog is standing to look correct, but it may not be correct. And so I like to measure every bone and I like to measure every focal point. And then I write it all down. I collect the data. I look at the dogs moving, and that's how I determine which puppies are going to go into show or performance homes and which puppies are going to go as pets.
And it also, you can determine if they have maybe a potential health concern when you do this, right?
Absolutely. So if the owner's looking at maybe having to do ACL surgery down the road because the back legs aren't formed the way that they should be, I can give them some potential tips on how to prevent that from happening. So for example, a dog that's not put together correctly, I wouldn't want to put in a performance home, somebody who wants to do agility, let's say, because the dog's going to wear down and it's not going to be able to do its job. It's going to have the heart to do it, but the body's going to quit on them. So the last thing I want to do is put an incorrect puppy in a home like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, here we go.
Awesome.
We are starting.
Awesome. So this is Harry. The litter that I did, the theme is the royal litter. And so this is Prince Harry. And as you can see, he's quite hairy. So named appropriately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with measuring, and I'm going to measure on my side because that's the side I can see from. Let's put him on here for measurements, and then we'll put him on bricks for pictures. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the head. And what we're looking for in a corgi is an equilateral triangle. So as the puppy's looking at you, if you draw a line straight through the nose, up through the ears, the eye should be in the center of it, and each line should have the same measurement. So if somebody would whistle at him or make a silly noise, there you go. So now you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Then the next thing that we're looking for is planes. So the planes on a dog are here and here. And so what I'm looking for here is that they are parallel to the floor. So if we're standing like this, his nose kind of dips down a little bit. Can you see that? We'd like that to be maybe just a little bit more level. So if I put, okay. Yeah, if you'll hold a piece of cheese in front of him. Not interested in the cheese? Might be interested if he's not worried about falling off of something. So if I put this here and this way, No, that's not too bad. That's kind of parallel. So see how looks can be deceiving? So until you get in there and you actually start measuring, you can be like, I don't like that. But it's, to me, it looks correct. So the next thing I want to do is I want to measure the skull. So the skull measurements on Corgis should be, what is it? 3 to 5 or 2 to 3? Can't remember. 3. I think it's 5 to 3. So what we've got here is his measurements are 3 to 2. So he's going to grow up in proportion to what the measurement should be on an adult Corgi's head, okay? Then I like to measure the size of the ears. One of the problems that we're having in Corgis right now is ears. We're seeing ears that are like either really elephant ears or we're seeing little tiny teddy bear ears. And the ears are actually supposed to be medium. So not large, not small, but medium, somewhere in between. To me, this little guy's got a medium-sized ear. And I'm going to measure it so you guys can see. They're kind of have a tendency towards the smaller side. But as long as we're getting that equilateral triangle, that's the thing that's most important. And one thing that I've observed with Corgis that you may not be aware of, but when you look at a Corgi straight on, the bottom part of the ear is actually equal with where the point of the eye meets. So that's going to tell you how the ear is set onto the dog. So if somebody will make a noise again. Good. So you can see where his ear set is. If it's even with where his eyes are, then he's going to have a good ear set. It's not going to be too tall or too laid back, kind of like Yoda ears. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay, eye color and eye shape are really important. Corgis are supposed to have an almond eye in America. And what you get with eye shape is temperament issues. And I know, who would have thought that? But if you think about predators, I want you to picture their eyes. Their eyes are all almond shaped. These guys are actually supposed to look like a fox, which is a predator. And the reason they're supposed to look like a fox, I'm giving this away, Eric Salas, sorry, is that because they are more predator-like, the animals will be more respective of the dogs as opposed to dogs that don't look like predators. So if you think about dogs that were bred for companionship, they all have round eyes, or sometimes they'll have an oval eye. So an oval eye is a combination between a round eye and an almond eye. So what we're looking for is an almond eye on these guys. Now, if we've got an almond eye, that puppy is going to be more primitive and harder to work with. And so those are the dogs that I tend to really like. I call them the naughty dogs. Or the no bad dogs, because they are primitive. They have deep-seated instincts, and they kind of want to do things their own way. If we have an eye that's a little more round, that puppy is going to be more biddable and probably fit better into a pet or a family home, as opposed to a dog that's got an almond-shaped eye. So anyway, just a little piece of information there. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to do is his eyes are, let me look at you. Oh, where you going, kid? I'm going to say this guy's eyes are oval. Yes, they are. And they're dark. So that's what we want to see. Okay. Now, the next thing that I want to see is I want to see that his nose goes above his top line. If his nose doesn't go above his top line, then we have problems there. And the problem that we have is in the shoulders. So if the neck looks short, it's actually a shoulder issue, not a neck problem. Everybody's got the same amount of vertebrae. So if I take my line here and I put this on his top line and I go here and he holds his head still. What I like to do is put my fingers in here between the bottom of the ear and where the shoulder is. And I measure that distance, and that tells me how long my dog's neck is. So I have got a 2-inch neck. Then I think I was showing you this here. We wanted to place this across the top line and see how much of the dog's head is above. And so as you can see, his little head is kind of right on the line. So what I want to look at next is, where do the shoulders fit? So shoulders are not attached in any way to the dog by another bone. They actually are in there just kind of floating around, and the only thing holding the shoulders onto the dog is their skin and tissue. So what I'm looking for is, how far forward do these shoulders sit? And one thing that's going to tell me that is whether or not we've got a pronounced forechest and how far apart the shoulder blades are up here at the top. So that is what's called set on. So how are the shoulders set onto the dog? And what I can see here is, if I take this and I smash the hair down so that there's no hair, kid. And I smash here, I'm not seeing much of a forechest. Okay, so can you guys see that? I want to see a forechest that comes out almost like the hull of a boat. Okay, and sometimes they'll even call this the keel. So that tells me that the shoulders are set a little bit forward on this dog. And what that's going to do is it could restrict his movement, or it could make him a little bit bouncy if the shoulders are set too far forward. So it's like, I just can't decide which one I want. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. He's biting my microphone here. Okay, he's about done with this evaluation process. It's taking much longer to do this because I'm kind of talking my way through it, and he's over it. There you go. Okay, so I'm measuring his shoulder. So what I'm doing is finding where the top of the shoulder is. And then I want to go to where the point of shoulder is. So this right here is, okay, let's put him on the bricks. See if that will hold it still. We're trying all this stuff, buddy. He's had it with me. He is over it. Okay. So the point of shoulder is right here. That's where the shoulder and the upper arm meet. So I want to measure how long is the shoulder and how long is the upper arm. And the upper arm goes from the point of shoulder to the elbow. Okay, so those bones should be as equal as possible. Now in corgis, this can be a tough thing to get because they're a dwarf breed. There's not a whole lot of dwarf breeds out there. There's short breeds, but there's not dwarf breeds. And so dwarfism actually deforms the bones a little bit. And so what I'm finding is that his shoulder is 3 inches and his elbow to his point of shoulder is 2 3/4. So that's really not that bad. So the layback on this, so layback is how is the shoulder fitting. If you take your hand and you put this part right here against the point of shoulder, you should have an upper bone and a lower bone. That tells me that it's at 45 degrees. If the bone's like this, then it's at 90 degrees. And some standards for corgis call for a 90-degree shoulder. Some call for 45. Our standard is 45. So we want to have, and I like the 45-degree because I think it gives you a little more range of motion. Okay. So range of motion is how the legs come forward. So I'm going to take his little leg and I'm just going to bring it forward if he'll let me. Nope, he's not going to let me. How far forward is the shoulder going to allow the leg to go? If the leg comes forward where it's supposed to, it should be at or almost to the end of the nose. If the degree of angles is not correct, then his leg will not be able to do that. The reason we want it to do that is it covers more ground. So that dog will take fewer steps to do its job. A dog that takes fewer steps to do their job is going to tire it's going to take a lot longer to tire that dog out than it will be otherwise. So we're going to put Harry down and give him a break and come back to Harry here in a minute.
So height and length, and we didn't get height.
Okay, so we need height.
And we are back at
is
Harry.
7, and length is 11 1/4.
Feet are oval and closed.
Feet are oval and closed. Nice. Front feet, back feet are oval and a little bit open. That's okay. Nice 45-degree angle. Let's look for forechest here. And again, we don't have, I'm going to say adequate. And set on is a little forward. Okay, croup is broad and flat. Would you, let me do this? Scissors bite. And you want to do eyes? Did you do
almond?
Almond and
very dark.
and very dark. No
Round
wonder you're
ears.
such a pain in the patoot. No wonder you're such a pain in the patoot. Did we do ears? 3. What else you missing?
Length of loin.
Length of loin. So he's got a longer loin, and that I don't know if you guys can see, but sometimes his top line's nice and level, and sometimes it's got a little bit of a dip in it. He's holding it a little bit better than his brother. So we've got, this is our rib cage. This is our loin, okay? And the loin is, what did I say? This is going to be 2.5 inches. Yeah, 2.5 inches. Upper thigh, lower thigh. 3, 2 3/4. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so now we got to watch these puppies move. Yeah. Perfect. Beautiful. Did that scare you?
You're kidding.
I'm out of here. Do you have a squeak toy you could squeak? Which one? This one is the... There we go. Good. Okay, let's do this. Let's put him at that end, and then we'll call him towards everybody. Puppy, puppy, puppy.
There he is. Da-da-da.
Okay, let's do that again.